क्या है ये, क्यों है ये, क्या खबर जो भी है, बड़ा अच्छा लगता है तुमसे मिलना, बातें करना, बड़ा अच्छा। चलो गाइस सीधे जंप करते हैं मैच पे विदाउट एनी टाइम वेस्टिंग एनी टाइम, क्योंकि हमारे बंदों ने आई थिंक एक टीम निपटा दी है। वी आर लेट, माफ करना गाइस। और हम सीधे मैच पे जंप कर रहे हैं और हम पहली फाइट लगाते हैं।
Now, there has been a bit of a proverbial dinner bell that was rung, and that's AX on the rotate over. They would have heard some of this gunfire release, trying to at least carve a path back around. Don't want to half commit to this. Bit of a new look. It's like 20 pull off with some of these more default drops if it goes wrong.
We're already losing one. That's over towards power. So 4 thrives currently thriving over towards Hatin. We're on board with AX and Noxian Red Force in the ruins.
Scrambling to grab themselves some bits and bobs to fight with. Noxian Red Force taking a bit of a dink towards the backside as well. DBS is in play. They start to make their move. This is real rough as well for Power, Blank. I mean, down to just one man left standing already. I know I was hyping him up a little bit, kind of a fan favorite for the crowd, but that is not a dream start whatsoever.
And 4 thrives, 3 eliminations, 4 players still up and kicking. And they will be kicking Power out from Hatin going forward. On the other hand, Noxian Red Force taking a fair bit of damage. AX currently looking a lot more healthy here compared to them. Controlling on the outside of ruins right now. A little bit tough when you get on the back foot here, especially in terms of meds. Because a lot of these rooms do get cut off, and AX is starting to increase their domain within the ruins itself.
The opportunity to play with though. Some weapons established there. Henry in the back lines.
Though for Slight to scout 2 teams from ruins, you open up a very consistent. Went down over towards Hatin. It was a rough
for that one actually. For moments, first 15 seconds, yeah. Not the sort of sight that you'd like to see.
Nice.
Beautiful peek on it, Blank.
Yeah, good catch. Very, very good catch. And again, to be honest with you, AX, with the amount of control they've had throughout the entirety of this fight, they want to conclude this soon. They know they can go towards that eastern side where our circle popped.
Equal trade so far. Looking to close the gap with the DBS, but the quick burst back over, looking pretty good actually. These trades though, so messy. Either side taking heavy hits, looking to see if they can convert. DBS just spamming out the shots. Need to play medic, get Henry back on his feet. Got the elevated fight, wide swing out on the corner, drop down into it. And there you have it. Come out on top in the end. This was 4 thrives who were setting themselves up to get the third party down from the top of the ridge. Like you said, they've been ran up on, and it's not looking good whatsoever. Quickly, they are dispatched. Popped up like a spilt drink, Blank.
It was a great push through from Vision. Honestly, Volt does a huge amount of work in that instance. A surprise that 4 thrives fell for that so suddenly, and I think that's because they got a little bit too aggressive down towards the position early. And that is always the difficulty taking that high ground, that your back is not protected. Aura though, no fear. Certainly feeling it now, it's a little bit. So as from DRX of all teams down towards the south side of this, actually getting slightly involved. And it's nice to see, you know, Horror getting aggressive, because it's exactly what Neptera talks about on the dares count. Teams maybe see them as a bit of a passive team, but no, they've got a little bit of a bite to them.
Oh yeah. Don't want to get those hands too close, they'll bite back. It's rough for Order as well, how he was setting himself up. Actually quite nice with the cook on the nades. You can see he was trying to just go in for the knock, didn't expect the shot from the side, instantly downed and then fully committed because of it. Yeah, DRX might actually have a little bit to say about this one, the longer it develops as well. You've got a good read on it. Alpha 7 now dropping over. Mafioso trying to bail out. Damage comes through. Quick damage on the Carrillo. There's the pre-nade as well. Oh, nearly make him get it through the window.
Yeah, I mean, that's a nade you should not be missing here in EWC, right? I don't think you should be missing those kind of nades. For Alpha 7, now that it's surrounded, Revo, Mafioso, keep things under wraps, Team Secret. Now Carrillo over towards that building, over towards Revo is. He's got a big task ahead of him.
It was a cook on the nade, cast it out, doesn't look like it's going to be on target. Vision as well, scrapping. Meanwhile, on the left-hand side of the feed, it's all kicking off. Damage back down onto 4 primes. That was the replay that we had there with the real action here. Let's see how it goes.
There's 4 teams in this compound, dude. This is unbelievable. You've got Yangon Galacticos, Alpha 7, Team Secret, E-Arena, all battling for control here. I think Team Secret picked their moment very nicely. I think Team Vision maybe missed their moment there, but they could have come down slightly earlier as opposed to looking over towards this fight happening between Weibo as well as Horror Esports in Lakawi. I think DRX does have a nice spot, you know, over on this eastern side. They can stalk the opponents on the west.
Yeah, it feels like they've been picking their fights nicely as well. You know, the one pick they were able to find was good timing on it, not overcommitted. They're playing the long game on this one. With everyone being so closely grouped, there's a lot of potential for a big point earner the longer it goes on. A lot of chip damage being thrown out between these teams as well. They're going down in the meantime. Another squad eliminated. They are thrown to the wayside. Mafioso consistently just taking so much damage, having to tuck in, really doesn't have an angle to fight from at all. Smile. Back over. Good tag straight up.
Go towards E-Arena. Very nice angle to play in. Mormon goes down after all. Maybe Team Vision didn't miss a trick after all, by the way. Very nice ability to kind of sweep on this eastern side.
All over the world teams.
I'm very, very excited to see who wins out on this compound eventually. Here's Marcelo. Again, this is what they wanted to do in the first place. Get rid of Horror Esports, start to move down towards DRX. It will cut themselves out a huge amount of space on the northeast side. Even if it goes over towards the west, they do have a scout in Never Alone, currently playing in a compound on that northwest, keeping tabs on that huge fight ongoing inside that compound that you see on your screen right now with Team Alpha 7. Yangon Galacticos, nice nade, comes through again. Again, 6 elims on the match.
Honestly, you've got to give him props. Vision looking really crisp right now. That was beautiful nade. Great timing on it. Ooh, hang on. Be able to get the this though. Looking for a window. Obviously wanted to get the pick back up. Couldn't do it. On the adjustment there. Vision topping right now on the elim points. That's 8 that they're rocking with.
It's a really, really nice start. And Sandhawk is particularly good for this, Jackie, where you're able to get a big lead at the start of the day just because it encourages one team to take control. Nice step out from Origin, honestly. But Devotee, the reaction speeds on that were insane.
It's a good start for this teammate as well, the way they've read it. You play off the back of the nade,
yeah.
Peaks, you've got to force them into the fight. It's a good engagement, actually, like impressive stuff.
They've been playing
a massive game rather than the hot drop that we saw to start off with, but rotations have been alright. The teamwork looked pretty good. Rough on the move here though. Limited cover to work with, an influence rate. They take the lead up and do get the shot back over.
If you're quite honest, like it has been hard for them. There hasn't been too many areas to jump in. I mean, Aryan will get ahead here.
Power easy to मार दे.
Well, it's Cyrax.
Kill मिला वो एक Indian team को. मिला ना? बढ़िया.
Influence. He's literally had the backline this whole time, by the way. He's been slowly making his move in, right? He's rocked up, found influence rage, and made the play. Oh, easy.
Arena power.
2 elim points. Can't actually turn your nose up at that.
No, you can't.
Team India anymore. I'm rooting for him. Oh, footsteps heard.
Yeah. Okay.
Nah, he's joking around.
Hey, I mean, he outlived 4 thrives though, so
it's really not that bad, considering that could have been literally like a 0-point game. Like,
yeah,
you'll take
Okay,
it.
Alpha 7 के
absolutely
mafioso
will.
last man standing.
They got I think a 2 off the back of that.
Yeah.
Nice.
इनका नाम क्या है?
Yangon
Galacticos
will finish off Alpha 7 who get
Yangon
1 pity
Galacticos.
point in terms of placements.
Team
Any
Secret.
other E-limbs that
मेरी
came their
favorite
way.
teams में
Team
एक-
Secret.
But I think
Struggling.
roster पूरा
And this has
change.
been a great setup from Vision.
पूरा roster change
Honestly,
है Team
this
Secret
whole
का.
time. Look at this line that they've
Like
got.
वो
You can see it
UI
right there.
और,
Looking out towards Team Secret as well as Yangon Galacticos.
Team
As
Secret
they
की जो
leave
team
that
हुआ करती थी
compound, not
भाई.
only will
Like
they be trying to
SLR का
tear
जब
shirts
मतलब
out one
DMRs
another,
का
but it
मैटर में
also
Team
will
Secret ने
Team
बहुत
Vision
कुत्ता बनाया था भाई,
having
मेरे को याद है.
some pretty deadly vision there.
भाई
where-
मेरा वार में तो छोड़ते नहीं थे.
Potential stab
मार मार के
back as
सुअर
well
बढ़ देते थे
still
माँ कसम.
from Joker onto AX as they start to make their rotation at the top. Like
Article
you
से
said,
Team
it's a
Vision
good
की.
setup from Vision, but also like
Team
what
Secret के
DRX
फ्रैंकी ने
will
मारा
work with.
Secret फ्रैंकी तो अपना याद है फ्रैटिक तो
Bolt
फ्रैंकी
still
कहाँ है
keeping the
वो
electricity going.
टूर्नामेंट है ऐसे हाँ
Also,
बार टूर्नामेंट है अपनी
you
इंडियन
have
टीम
that
में देखो
relatively
सामने दो बंदे दिख
equal
रहे हैं ना
tie
आर्यन
right
और
now in the
रसायन
nation
के अपनी इंडियन टीम के गए खेलने.
Great game of how they've been keeping
इंडिया की
themselves
नंबर 1
involved.
टीम बन के गई है वो उस टाइम.
It's a nice sprint to at least have an understanding of the rotations in for DRX.
टीम आर्यन के नाम से.
Sunbin was playing far further out, obviously scouting down. Nade onto the top. Never alone, takes a hefty hit from that one. Got to back up a bit. Team Secret caught in the
Team
crossfire as well.
पकड़ी गई. ट्रांग X9 मतलब 19 ट्रांग की.
Smile finding a lot of Team Secret there, so
Okay,
stolen
RNB
away
down है.
a lot away from
Last
Vision,
man
honestly,
Sarex
on
remaining.
their exit.
ओए भाई
See
कितना
there,
बुरा
the
लग रहा है बे
Yangon
नवाब.
Galacticos, 13
Salah.
elims this game. An absolute galactic performance from them. Irina goes down. Iron goes down as well.
Sarex
That's
भी
the
down.
Yangon Galacticos.
Okay, अपने बंदे down
Another
हो
tag
चुके
on,
guys.
which
They're
takes them
down
to
now.
14 elims.
10
The
kills.
first
Top
map
5.
of the
5 and
day.
7th.
Beautiful stuff. The Team
Sarex को
Falcons that I'm
domination
interested in. You know, they've had a pretty casual game. They really need to make it count now, though. The big two teams who will be going head-to-head will be DRX and Vision going forward.
NT7 kills
DRX
were
been very
nice,
quiet, though, Jackie.
They have, yeah.
So what
Sorely
is
looked
that
at right
Sarex
kind of
got?
passive, just the sort of third-party fights when they had a few off angles. Oof. Bullets raining down.
What do
I
you
think
think?
Team Vision का मैच है ये.
The Yangon Galacticos.
You know what, you
Oh,
are right.
DRX
It's kind
भी
of
है.
awkward, right, with the split at least. A lot of damage onto them. But with how many E-limbs they've been able to rack up already,
DRX
they're looking
का
crisp.
मेरे को
Like,
ये
not going to
वाला
lie,
तो
for the
team
position you're in, maybe there's still a chance to get a little bit more out of this one. Be a hell of a day if they can kick it off like this, Mike.
Falcons have to leave. Luckily for them, DRX as well as Vision just get into contact with one another.
Here we go. Scrap starting to unfold. Damage over the top. Marcelo with the peek up, spamming into the smoke. Vehicle over the top. Nade
Oh,
straight
do
onto him
it,
as well.
do
So
it.
Vision, it's getting risky. And that's the
SD
DRX
गया.
with the damage being
गया
dealt.
खत्म
Vault
DRX.
suddenly clambering to pick this one back up.
Falcons कहाँ है? मेरे को Falcons दिखी नहीं जब से.
Nipping at their heels.
भाई
They've got to be
Falcons
forced further
Alpha
forward.
7.
The nades blank with how
Man,
close the
Team
group they
Secret,
are.
ये
One
बड़ा
right on
Vulcan
target would
के
finish
साथ
them.
होता है.
What are you doing? They
DRX
drove
भी
their
है.
own teammates into the barrage of nades. Smile goes
भाई, ये
down.
team
The
तो
Team Falcons now looking for
सुपर
the
बढ़ देगी.
finish. But it was clean from DRX.
नार्वेलो तो
Now
भाई.
looking to get all their players back up on their feet.
But
We'll see if Team Falcons can finish with North. It's
इनका
round
roster change हुआ है. Falcons
as
का
well as
roster change हुआ है
Redux.
थोड़ा.
Either side of the circle. Preliminary grenades going out over towards the hard cover,
Falcons
so
का
you know
roster
the
change
work
हुआ है यार.
with
मेरे
no
को नहीं पता ये
information.
बंदे कौन है.
Nades in, stepping forward. The feet are on the ground right now. DRX, they saved themselves. Could have been misery in the previous fight. The smorgasbord
चारों
of
बच गए
mistakes
DRX
kept
के.
them in it to win it,
खत्म है.
and
दिख रहे हैं,
Cupid
ऊपर में
tries
दिख
to
रहे हैं.
unleash.
बस
That's
मारेगा.
one clean connection back on a round. Goa,
दिख रहे हैं.
low on HP. DRX dealing damage
Last
right
man
now
standing,
as the
Falcons
E-limbs
का.
are racking up.
Radeon,
In a position to
Radeon
close
भी
it and grab themselves a chicken dinner on the first game with the shots
Spotted
raining
it,
through.
Radeon.
It's all on Redox. We need to be a
Radeon
clutch
spotted
from the
it.
back line, and that's not going to
DRX
happen.
correct.
DRX will take it.
Yeah, coming to play here. It's not quite D plus key, but DRX are looking good on the main stage. Very, very nice to see here for them. Team Falcons will take that second place. It's a good position to be in for them, Jackie.
It really is. Beautiful stuff. And a hell of a start to the day for Yangon Galacticos, right? Like the E-limbs, absolutely beautiful. You're taking really heads-up fights. You've been able to build up that momentum. For a first game, that's the performance I'd want every time. Yeah, we didn't get the chicken dinner blank, but the blood's pumping, the comms look clean. That matters a lot.
in there, Ralph. Doesn't seem to lose that game, but I think that they should be happy. They were working with little to no information there, and they really had to cut it down to the wire, moving out from that blue. They were banking on Vision and the Arranx actually fighting one another, and it took so long to but what was that car play, dude?
Mate, it just felt so confusing in the moment as well, right? Because you're like, okay, you've got the intense fight here. What is this playing? Like, where's this going from? The comedy of error that then just unfolded into everyone, obviously, having to be closely grouped. You eat a nade, no spacing, nothing you can do. The difference of one nade is just completely removing them from what was otherwise a really great sort of mid-flow of the game.
The game was unreal from Vision, and to end in an embarrassing moment like that does feel rough. They still get themselves a lot of points on the back of it, though, Jackie.
They really do, they really do. And a lot more action to come, so join us after the break.
Cybertron's future is near.
Saudi Arabia की Vulcan so.
Autobots, roll out! This planet reeks of weakness. Your courage reignites my spark. We'll crowd a new load of Cybertron.
Stalwart Gaming काफी सारे लोग तो लगा सकते हैं
Roll for freedom. A victory for all sentient beings.
क्या क्या प्रमोशन चल रहे हैं हेरल्स गेट हीरोज गेट क्या है अभी नहीं पता
What a first match that we have had here at PMWC at EWC 25. Boy, I was not expecting the RX to get that win, Max, but they came out on top.
I was like, there's no D plus Kia R, but DRX are the new D plus Kia. Does that make sense? I don't know, maybe. But South Korea here to play. It feels really good. And really good entry point to the East, playing it pretty safe, waiting until the very end. Got a really good nade onto Vision that really just unlocked the potential for them to win that match.
It felt a bit like an underdog type of game, right? You were telling me that a lot of these teams, I mean, big teams that we were expecting to do good, they didn't end up performing that good. One team that actually ended up surprising me, and I feel like it surprised a lot of us, was Yangon Galacticos. The amount of eliminations this team got.
They're like, what the hell is happening in that Alpha 7 compound? I guess we'll send it and just eliminate everyone. They got almost double-digit eliminations that game, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
So Yangon Galacticos, I think a lot of teams here qualified through PMSLs. They made it through PMCL, the Challengers Cup, and people not really looking towards their direction too much and actually getting a really good start here on Sanok.
I mean, Neptura, them being
USA
able to
taking a battle against the Philippines and winning it, at least so far. Breck's going to scoop up a Lynx for himself off of this crate, so they do lose one player, but they're able to get some extra utility for the late game. Oh, what a shot from Brex right into the head of Alo. Well done with that Lynx. USA in the blue, just scrambling to get through, but Zareth is going to be standing there, the rest of Germany in their way. Vietnam trying to get their reses to go on the other side of this in that smoke. Brex curious about it. A grenade here actually could be pretty devastating.
Wrong side of the tree. It lands on the side. He will get the flush, but
Oh,
Brax will
Brax!
deal with kick. And now he turns his attention to Tanvu. Vietnam losing another, and Brax go up to 5 kills in the lobby now. And Mecca pushing up on the Philippines. CJ, he's going to get knocked. And let's not look. Emmy's in the blue with a nade in his hand, but he throws it in. It might get Calbs, but it's just a little too far away. And this is brilliant from Germany here, but Zeras has been knocked by Little Ghost.
Dude,
Okay,
Brex
knock
is
one,
hitting
Brex.
some nasty shots. Looking to do more work. There's another molly. I don't even know if Calbs realizes it yet. All of a sudden, whoa, why is the ground on fire next to me? I'm in trouble, but so is Hemas. Calbs actually able to get the knock, even though damage came from a couple different angles there. Tanvu out into the blue, trying to do something. Oh my God, the blue is gonna do it. The grenade had just done enough damage to Calbs.
Yeah, Germany down to 2 as well, as looking off into the distance. Argentina's Emmy still alive inside the placement points, which is not a bad scenario at all when you consider they lost their players oh so long ago. Monty in the sights of Gumin. Salute, come on.
He's got it.
The little Datsy
Oh, no.
good,
Oh, no,
but he's
no,
going to
no,
get
no,
shot at by Thailand. And does he get over it? He gets through. The tire pops, but I think he's gotten over there.
Oh my
Bhai,
God,
salute,
salute.
bhai, no monre.
That is unbelievable that you survived that. What a nice attempt from Rossiter Jr. That is such a creative angle to take there. Thailand has complete control over the northern side of the river. I mean, there is Indonesia up there, but they had just res. They're looking for whatever util and equipment that they can find. Gumin takes a bunch of damage. Tiggleton, though, in response is knocked. Gumin, nice outplay there onto the IGL of Australia. Monty on his own. Just the logs of the shack and a Pico bus for cover. And Korea needs some kills in this one. They only have one. They're looking for more.
And have a look at Rossadid. He's crossed the river. He's sneaking up. He wants to get involved. He wants points for Thailand. As Korea push on up. But on the other side of things, Germany's there. Seoul, you're taking 5 damage every second you stay inside the blue. And I think the Germany know it. They know he's weak, but Yumin will get the knock on Amika, and Korea fighting on multiple fronts and winning all the battles, but Braxco will take down Seoul.
Oh, finally dealt with. What a reposition there by Gumin to back up Seoul on the backside. He should be able to grab him, get him into the next zone, and try to go for the res. China has other ideas. They have flanked out wide to try to cut off Korea's advance. They know that they're still 4 up potentially, and they want to make sure that that doesn't exist into this late game. Not much to work with here. It is a coastline, some high hills. Thailand, though, so smart to get ahead of the curve here. They can leave 2 players on the backside as well to watch for Indonesia. I'm pretty sure they know they're there. They probably saw them parachuting in. Out in the open, though, Korean players. Juicy targets for Lil Ghost. Connects onto that, onto Raining, and he should be down and out.
Yeah, really good from Little Ghost as he takes advantage and picks up that kill. So that's 1 player down for Korea, and this makes it a 3v4, v3, v3. Korea being held by China, but China have got to get a move on as well, because Zhao Wood is holding the circle, everyone else in the blue, and Salute is coming this way. They're going for Little Ghost. It's aggression from Korea, and I absolutely love it. Run him over, Seoul gets the knock, and Ming Ming will fall as well. Korea get revenge, and Zhao Wood, usually the first to fall, is now the last standing for China.
Fortune favors the bold in Korea. That is a bold move right there. Driving uphill at China to take them out. They were not happy that they lost Raining there, and they wanted to return the favor. it's not all over yet. Xiao Wu, the hero for China during PGS, has an opportunity to do something special once again on his own, but he's got Indonesia right underneath the hill near him, aware of each other's presence as Util is coming out on both sides. Oh, Trick finds the off angle, and Xiao Wu is down.
Indonesia climbing into 10th spot now, and Thailand are going to do the exact same rotate we saw.
They didn't do it right.
Nah,
they missed it.
They're fine. They've got 4 players up, and they got a spot in the circle. But would you put it past Korea now after dealing with China on the south? Well, of taking full control of the circle and pulling a rabbit out of the hat with a win here.
They can do it. They need Indonesia to kind of do some damage, I think, to Thailand. Maybe not necessarily, but you would love to see that. That's for sure. You would love to see those two teams over on that eastern edge just beat each other up so you can come through, claim what you think is going to be the winning position, claim what you think is going to be the winning terrain, and use that to your advantage. And they know that eventually it's going to have to leave that river, right? So they're going to go on that western edge. They're going to take the hillside, use that for cover, get some high ground, get some angles, get some info, and set up for the late game.
Yeah, Indonesia, Setsuna turning his attention over towards Korea as Thailand all group on that south side where they believe the next phase shift is going to go. Simoy hunting that way though, as he's going to make the crossing through the water, and I don't think Thailand are looking the way, and just by Indonesia firing shots across, it enables the Simoy crossing. So this is really good team play, and Korea, they want to push Indonesia, but they also know the position they have in the circle is really good as things stand. Yeah, so they're not going to make the move just yet. But Paper, that circle shift is not what anybody was banking on.
That is wild. That is going to guarantee to have water in it. I think in the last phase, at least the phase 8 circle should be touching some. That is crazy. This is a bizarre circle. You rarely see them like this next to a river. So this is a special one in terms of just rarity. You know, that we won the Pubg gotcha for this game. We got a fantastic circle. Gyumin gonna be the one tasked with keeping track of Indonesia up on the north side. Meanwhile, Seoul and Salute have a unenviable task of watching Thailand on the other, but Simoy has gotten right underneath Thailand.
Okay,
what in the world is he gonna do?
Yeah, remember
अगर ये नेट हटाना हो गया मेरा, हो गया मेरा, और भाई क्या एक्सपीरियंस है भाई तुम देखो, भाई ये मैं सोल को तो जानता था कि कोरिया में सोल करके एक बंदा है, फेमस है.
Let Indonesia know that he's within throwable distance, and here come Salute and the rest of the reinforcements. They know that Indonesia have only got so many limited spots to rotate from this spot. And when all this is going on, and all the explosions, Thailand are wrapping all the way in behind on the south.
This is actually kind of turning into a problem for Korea. They need this fight to go smoothly and quickly, and Indonesia knows that they're in a bad spot, an easily nadeable spot, so they're going to try to rotate. They're actually going to see Thailand. If they take shots, that's going to alert Korea to Thailand's presence, that they're making this wide wrap.
Let them go. Let Thailand wrap around.
Smart.
It's the right thing to do, because you know that they're going to backfill Korea, and this is just triggered discipline at its finest. And I love that decision, because any other player might consider the fight, and here we go. The angle opened up by Thailand. Korea inside a bowl, and this could become a shooting gallery. Setsuna, don't shoot. Don't. Thailand, they're doing you a favor. Once Korea start fighting back to Thailand, maybe then start doing some damage. But for now, they are your allies.
Korea there, Gyumin right at the tree, taking a bunch of damage from a grenade. Simoy, it's his time to strike. And he gets a bunch of damage with the AK, but can't find the knock. Instead, Setsuna combines with him, calling out the targets nicely, saying, I've got this one lit up. It's your turn up to bat. Setsuna had been such a good support player for Indonesia during the survival stage. And this time it's Simoy setting up Setsuna. Now, around the corner is Korea. And they are now being pushed in by the blue. This is going to get trickier and trickier as time goes on. They may have just been a little too cautious in trying to take that fight against Korea, but they didn't know where Indonesia was.
And look how steep the hill they need to descend is as well. It's all going to impact them as Korea still with 3 up. That circle, you said it had to keep water in it. About 30% of
No,
it is
short,
still
short,
in the river. Setsuna turns his attention, but Thailand are back up to a 4. They got the res right in the smoke on the edge of the blue, and now they can turn their attention back this way. Saluto finds Saluto, Gyumin on the Jacob. Everybody firing onto everybody, Paper. It's a 2v3.
This is madness. C-Boy with that AK, able to do a ton of damage again, but Rossiter Jr. strikes from the side. Coming up and over is Trick trying to do some damage onto Rossiter. Rossiter has such a tough angle in this fight. Trick trying to find one of his own. That hill is so steep, neither player can really get a good angle onto the other. But this is mutually assured destruction. Korea now trying to fan out. Seoul out on the edge. It is going to be Thailand that falls in third.
Yeah, and Seoul now the pressure from Trick, and Seoul's going to get taken down by the blue zone. And it's a 2 versus 2 for the win. Indonesia, who battled their way from last place last year through the survival stage, are going head-to-head with the champions. 2 teams on opposite sides of the spectrum at the end of the year, or at the end of PNC last year, will battle. I don't think Trick has got a really good spot here at all. Setsuna needs to help it out. It's essentially 2 1v1s for Korea as they have bunched themselves up on a 2, but they got to be careful because we know Indonesia are no joke, and they can easily turn this fight in their favor.
The thing you have going for you is Korea's Trick just didn't have any more first aids. He only has a couple bandages, so he's at the edge. He's trying to peek out around. He's exposed. Gyumi found Setsuna, and it's going to be Korea. A chicken dinner. Smiles on the faces of team.
आगे क्या सेकंड मैच आ गया क्या?
A hot drop, if it all starts to go wrong, you build a very slippery slope for yourselves. So I'd love to see them fix that before we're saying, oh.
It's always been a pretty bad start to squeezing out a qualification right at the end there, or just barely missing out on a qualification. And I think that's something that Power just can't afford to have. When we've seen Power done the best in the past, it's where they get a really clean start, they get out the gate running. That's when they do very, very well. So I think that kind of momentum buster towards the beginning of the tournament will hurt this team.
Yeah, you could think the whole hand a little bit. You know, one thing I noticed last year as well was the difference in the body language from that team. Confidence is there, they're feeling themselves. You see the happiness. It does take a little bit of a different turn.
Al-Haji has this astonishing capability to either look like the angriest guy in the room or the happiest dude on earth. Hopefully we get to see the more happy side of Al-Haji. We want to see Al happy. That's what we want to see. Yeah,
that's good. That's good. No, 100%, man. I think that human element of PUBG Mobile is something that sometimes you sort of take for granted, right? Especially more so when we're online. You don't get that all the time to see the real sort of emotions for a team. And it really does run through this kind of environment, right? Like grand stage. With how you're sort of down in the middle, all of your other opponents around you. The crowd are looking from
अच्छा ठीक है बहन से मैं PUBG का सोच के बैठा हुआ था सॉरी करता हूँ नीचे करता हूँ रुक जा इसके हिसाब से ग्रुप स्टेज ये हाँ ठीक है यहाँ छुपा सकते हैं ठीक है इसको कर दो हाँ अब ठीक है ना पीसी में राइट में है अब ठीक है ना इधर किल पॉइंट्स भी हैं उधर इधर ठीक है क्योंकि मैप आता है यहाँ पॉइंट्स आते हैं
Honestly, this whole particularly good for this Jackie Webb. Ahead of him,
it was a cook on high.
I think it's a smart move.
यही ठीक रहेगा ठीक है
Control that resulted in them getting a great chicken dinner, and then of course Galacticus coming at you like a super villain, just ruining everyone. Blank eliminations on what was that? Another elimination.
It's right. We were stacking them. We were stacking them. We were looking like a wedding cake of eliminations during that game. And I think the thing is that for Yangon Galacticos, when you were looking at them during that match, they were just compounding elimination after elimination. They went up to 7 elims, then it was suddenly 11, then we're finishing on 14. I was like, where are they all coming from? But it's just a very clean sweep across the board. So for Yangon Galacticos, I do want to see more of that, please.
Oh yes.
Honestly.
टेबल्स कितनी क्लीन है
I think
वो
for
देख रहा है
DRX
तू
as
अरे
well,
भैंस की हाँ
it's good that you bring them up because with some big boosts
OBS bot है ये
South Korea, especially
अच्छा
after
OBS को
last
bot भी
year's
आता है
EWC,
डायरेक्ट कनेक्ट होगा फिर तो ये
with
OBS
D plus
उनके
actually winning that over
भाई
in
सोच कितनी
London.
लाइव स्ट्रीम्स ला रखी होंगी
But
कितना
for
बड़ा प्रोडक्शन
DRX,
टीम
I
बैठती
do
होगी
think that they
इनकी
have some very, very strong players on
अपने
side,
बंदे
some
guys
story players on side. I mean, Hyunbin's been around for many, many years and has always been quite successful, and that's a good way to start things out. For South Korea in general, the macro is very, very good.
It really is. It really is. You know what though? I think we're having a good time right now setting the stage, but why don't you see how much fun the players have been having? Check this out.
वो स्टेज देख कितनी हेवी बना रखी है टीम फैल्कन से है तो ये कौन सी है भाई रॉक्सी टॉस वो अल्फा सेवन थे नहीं अल्फा सेवन की तो नहीं है ये बंदे अल्फा सेवन तो माफिया सा और कौन कौन सी है ये टोपलिप्स अरे यार मैं थंबनेल ही बना लेता यार जब तक थंबनेल बना लूंगा यार तक जब तक नहीं आ रहा जब तक मैं थंबनेल बना लेता हूँ ठीक है कि थंबनेल का फर्क पड़ता है हेलो
Huawei
वाह वाह हे हो
TMG
टोरी माहिका
हालांकि TMG नाम नहीं रहा सिर्फ टीम AX नाम है
टीम आर्यन
TMG से सारे वो हटा दिए थे उन्होंने अभी TMG रखना पड़ रहा है क्योंकि BGI से जो भी था वो BMPS उसी नाम से खेला था उन्होंने
अच्छा तो टीएमजी का बटा
टूर्नामेंट की जस्ट बात
क्यों पैसे वैसे कम
क्योंकि
दिए
प्लेयर्स ने 1500% हाइक मांग दी थी सैलरी में
अच्छा अच्छा इन्होंने भनपट की होगी उनकी हाँ ये मैंने देखी थी एक रील
असवैन हम कब मांगेंगे 1500% हाइक
माफ कर भाई माफ कर भाई माफ कर
सूरी बाबू Yo.csv finding index equal to false
zubi 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 dubi pampara zubi dubi parampara
परंपरा
प्रतिष्ठा
अनुशासन 40,000 की होती भाई स्नैक्स भाई की असवैन
वह नहीं रहेगा भाई वो
ऑफिस से काम कर रहा भाई मैं फाइल नेम इक्वल टू le.info.get फाइल नेम
ओए
हेलो वर्ल्ड
ऐसे मत दिखाई इस पे बोल मत भाई वो कंपनी की पॉलिसी वो हो रही है
कंपनी के बस साले वेरिएबल का नाम ले रहा हूँ यार ये हो क्यों रहा
अबे ये तो वीडियो है मैं सोचा फोटो होगा
बैगन
भाई फोटो वोटो नहीं है क्या इंस्टा पे ट्रॉफी का रोड का स्केड्यूल दिखा रखा है इन्होंने
अभी स्नैक्स तो बना लेना
वाह वाह वे वो पूरी माई गॉड अपने अपने इंडियन टीम का नहीं है क्या? अरे ये रहा ये रहा ये रहा। ओ भाई क्रेजी भाई क्रेजी ये
40
लगाऊंगा
को
ना मैं।
पेलना है भाई,
हाँ
40 को पेलना है।
क्या कह रहा है?
राजस्थान की टीम है ना 40।
हाँ 40 को पेलना है हाँ। इन पे मेरा बस नहीं चलता। अभी तो मैच नहीं आया, क्या कर रहे हैं ये? प्रोडक्शन का ये लग गया क्या?
चिप्स मांग रहा है।
नजर लगा दी क्या मैंने? किस्मत।
म्याऊं।
मैं रब बदलदा वेखे मैं बदल दे वेखे अपने में जग बदलदा वेखे सब कुछ बदल गया मेरा। जो आए जर ही जावांगी।
जे हुण तू अबे साले
कोई सीखे इनसे गाने की मावेन करना, कोई सीखे इनसे।
बैगन।
हाल दिल तुझको सुनाता
तुझको
दिल।
सुना दिया ये बोल पाती हूँ।
ये भाई क्रेजी यार तेरी कसम भाई, ये फोटो मैंने मतलब ई स्पोर्ट्स वर्ल्ड कप की गैलरी में
तेरा
से
फिर से
उठाया
कॉल
है।
आया क्या?
हाँ मेरी कॉल चालू हो गई, 5:30 हो गए ना, बट ये ज्वाइन नहीं करनी पड़ती मेरी।
शाबाश।
आज तो फ्राइडे है बहन की चूड़ियां।
रेडी।
ये स्पोर्ट्स वर्ल्ड कप का लोगो डाउनलोड का ऑप्शन कहाँ से आता है? सेव इमेज नहीं करनी
अरे
मेरे को। क्या हुआ, हो गया कि नहीं?
भाई
क्या मैच स्टार्ट हो गया क्या?
नहीं नहीं, स्नैक्स की सत्तू की वॉचिंग कर रही थी ना, मेरे लाइक पता है कितने?
हाँ
62,000।
हैं? भाई ये तो मतलब इस टाइम उस पे होगी, ऑन टॉप बोलते हैं ना।
ट्रेंडिंग पे।
हाँ मतलब लाइव सेक्शन का ट्रेंडिंग खोल देगा ना।
ऑन टॉप तो वो रहती थी भाई। सुना क्या तूने?
हैं?
सुना क्या तूने?
हाँ हाँ सुना सुना।
क्या सुना?
ऑन टॉप।
ऑन टॉप तो वो रहती थी।
मैच आया क्या?
ज्वाइन कर ले
बच
भाई, ज्वाइन कर ले, तेरे को ही बुला रहे।
मेरा कद्दू का है भाई।
बैगन।
पबजी एम का लोगो है क्या?
दिल हिंदुस्तान।
दिल दिल हिंदुस्तान दिल जाने हिंदुस्तान कैसे में?
ना बेरा भाई मन्ने
मन्ने ना बेरा लाडले
हारे बी 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 धौल निकल जागो
मारे मुंह ते निकल गई
2000 मीटर हो गया ठीक
मारे मुंह से निकल गई
छोरे
छोरे
उसकी वीडियो देखी तूने एलवी शादल की ब्रेटली के साथ
हैं हाँ 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 मैंने रील
हाँ।
रील देखी थी बस
उसको हरियाणवी बोलता है वो एलवी
हाँ,
शादल
हाँ। फिर वो कुछ बोलते
फिर कुछ ज्यादा बड़ा से
ज्यादा बोलता है तो
ब्रेटली
कुछ
बोलता है
बोलता है।
आराम से भाई ब्रेटली बोलता है अरे आराम से भाई
तेरी माई का
ठीक है ठीक है ठीक है ठीक है इजी 2900 मीटर हो गए
टीम आरएनएक्स टीएमजी करो ना अभी तो
टीम इंडिया कर भाई 3000 मीटर हो गए ठीक है नॉट बैड नॉट बैड
अरे यार
ये ले
जी हो गया 1 सेकंड आता हूँ मैं यार मेरे को स्ट्रीम एंड करनी पड़ सकती है
तो गई काट डले भाई अपनी टीम 5 नंबर पे चल रही है अच्छा बैच रही की है अरे अटक गया रे मैं शुक्रिया भाई
प्लीज लाइट आ जा यार प्लीज हेलो है तो डिस्कॉर्ड पे
हाँ
भाई लाइट चली गई है अब लाइक इन्वर्टर कभी भी डाउन हो सकता है इन्वर्टर पे चल रहा है थोड़ी देर के लिए बस लाइट आ जाए
भाई इन्वर्टर पे तो भाई बीटी हो जाती है यूपीएस ले लेना एक
तो यूपीएस भी कितनी देर चला सकता है
इन्वर्टर पे तो लोड डाल देगा बहुत तो भाई इन्वर्टर पे लोड भी तो आएगा
तो बिना इन्वर्टर के नहीं चल सकता पीसी भाई दो बैटरी लगवा लो
यूपीएस
तो यू
जो पावर सप्लाई
हाँ तो मेरा बंद नहीं होता पीसी वो तब यूपीएस की जरूरत होती है जब तुरंत बंद हो जाए इतना तो झेल लेता है मेरे इन्वर्टर पर लंबे टाइम के लिए नहीं चल सकता
तभी तो कह रहा हूँ यूपीएस झेलता है लंबे टाइम के लिए
नहीं चलता बड़ा इन्वर्टर लगा यूपीएस 15-20 मिनट
भाई ओ चुप हो जा मेरा गेमिंग पीसी चलता झेल लेता था वो पेंटियम लगा था उसमें
कितनी देर झेल लेता था आधे घंटे मैक्स 1 घंटे
1.5 घंटा
हाँ तो भाई अब जब के
चेस खेलता था उसमें
पीसी कॉन्फ़िगरेशन के हिसाब देख ले और आपके देख ले
चेस खेलता था मैं
साला चुरी दे रहा है
चेस खेलता था मैं और वाइस सिटी भी अबे यार करो यार मैच स्टार्ट
हाँ यार समझ में नहीं आ रही बहन क्या हो रहा है
शुरू हो गया
हो गया यार बस लाइट आ जा प्लीज
लाइट लाइट लाइट, आजा आजा आजा। भाई देख, अगर तेरी स्ट्रीम बंद हुई और टीम आरएक्स जल्दी बगी तो समझ जा तू लकी था।
हाँ अच्छा,
टीम आरएक्स के लिए, बस खुद के लिए नहीं। ड्रॉप क्या है भाई 88 का? देख लो गाइस, देख लो क्या उतर गई है टीम।
एक सेकंड, थंबनेल तो डाउन।
तो लाइव है अभी भी?
हाँ लाइव हो अभी तो। देखते हैं कब तक झेल पाता है पीसी। आई थिंक झेल लेगा। अभी तो एक ही रूम का चल रहा है, बंदे ऑफिस के रूम में। तो मैं ही हूँ जो यूज कर रहा हूँ।
लाइट हो जाती है तेरे यहाँ?
अरे यार ये सीन है भाई, गुड़गांव ही कह दी। ओके ओए साइरेक्स ने नॉक किया किसी को, डीआरएक्स के बंदे को। मैंने देखा अभी।
क्या
साइरेक्स ने नॉक किया डीआरएक्स के बंदे को, मैं खुद देखा। देख डीआरएक्स का बंदा नॉक, देख फिनिश भी हो गया। देख हेनरी ने फिनिश भी कर दिया, किल मिला अपने को। ये ले पहला किल आ गया। जैसी स्क्रीन पाया तुरंत पहला किल। देख रहा है तू, देख रहा है तू। ओ मैंने स्क्रीन शेयर नहीं कर रखी थी। Damn man.
What typically happens with Aiden is that when Al-Haji goes down, he really struggles. When he's up, he plays kind of sensitive.
आजा लाइट, तोरी माई का बंद हो जाएगा पीसी मेरा।
Off-angled to support Al-Haji when he goes for those pretty insane rollouts, but yeah, now just Ragnar and Easy try and make it happen. Got the doolies.
Trying to bait on a peak. Wild spray of bullets, but teamwork's there for the close quarters engagement. It's not ideal. And again, literally the same story, bro. This is the worst outcome, right? Just Easy left alone as the solo, if he even makes it out. But everyone's gunning for him. Want to confirm the full wipe on the squad. Massive power gaming going down as effectively the first full knock in both of them.
लिल बॉय भाई ना मान रहे, मार दिया भाई इन्फ्लुएंस रेज ने। पावर गेम को खेल दिया।
So happy about it.
Success.
तूने चला रखी है स्ट्रीम मेरी?
They chew down over towards power. I'll tell you that right now. Influence rage. It was actually.
आजा लाइट प्लीज। क्या?
अच्छा क्राफ्ट इंडस्ट्री नहीं कर सकता ना क्योंकि पबजी बैन है इंडिया में।
कौन नहीं कर सकता?
Craft India Esports.
अच्छा।
It was, obviously we were kind of setting this one up with a bit of a breakdown on the split situation there.
Para boy, PMWC watch party 39 की watch भाई।
Making the late rotate in from Sosnovka. I am curious.
ऑफिशियल पैरा बहुत थोड़ी होगा।
ऑफिशियली लग रहा है मेरे को तो भाई।
यार टीम आरएन की एंट्री कैसी थी? वे गाना कौन सा बजा था? मैं मिस कर दिया, वो देख लिया मेरे को।
आना बजा था ऐठा लगे दिए तारे चढ़ फरारी लगे स्पेसशिप।
बोले लाइट बुला दे भाई प्लीज। ये कौन है? स्कॉच बू। ये बंदा पहली बार नाम सुना हूं इसको।
अल्फा 7 भाई ब्राजील।
ला 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 ला।
नेमार नहीं खेल रहा क्या आज?
इस टीम की मारा, इस टीम के एक बंदे को मारा है फ्रेंड वालों ने डीआरएक्स के।
चिकन में तो निकालते हैं ना। 40 को पेलो यार, 40 को।
आई थिंक अच्छा कर लेंगे वे अपने बंदे, मेरे को लग रहा है।
आईएनएफ को भी खेला था पिछली बार इंडिया ने, उन्होंने पावर को मार दिया। पावर को भाई बहुत तगड़ा खेले लोग।
For Falcons, on the other hand, no hot drop over towards there. Though my main takeaway from this game is because it's such a sub and it tells us too much about.
मैं सोच रहे थे फ्री फायर टीम कहां से आगे बहन क्या? फ्री फायर पे पैसे कम पड़ गए बहन चो। PUBG वाले टूर्नामेंट खिलाना पड़ रहा है। 500 MB का गेम
Total gaming.
साला
I was stressing going into the next match. They're like, do we want to drop Yas now?
That's what I'm saying, bro. That's the awkward part. Because obviously, once it kind of is forgivable and it feels a bit rough and you can fix it. The second
30 kill मारे थे भाई मैंने उसमें एक
that's when
बार
it is instantly
50
like,
बंदे होते उसमें
we're at
टोटल
the halfway point of the day, boys. Like,
Yeah.
It's already creeped up on us, you know?
How do you fix this? You have to get the screwdriver and kit out.
टीम सीक्रेट के फ्रैंकी
Where the loose screw is.
I suppose at least
Team
the only
Secret.
thing
भाई
is
तो नोवा एसक्यूएफ भी नहीं दिखती ना
there is a decent gap. If you look towards obviously what, 6th upwards, it's not that much.
नोवा
of a
एक्सिस के
difference
बंदे
to
उससे
points,
खेल रहे ना
right? So
कौन सी टीम थी
obviously
जिससे
you
तो
just
खेल रहा है
actually start to build your way
Vivo
back
Gaming
in, and everyone else
खेल
doesn't
रहा है
have
ऑर्डर खेल
crazy
रहा है
spread.
वीवो गेमिंग ना
Maybe it's not the end of the world, but the likelihood of that
WBG से थे
has a lot of
हाँ शायद उसी से
positives
थे
attached to it.
Yeah, and as we know, Jackie, for the group stage we're starting off with, it really isn't that unforgivable to go down too early. We're going to get 8 teams going through
चलो ये
towards,
टीम कौन सी भाई जी
straight through.
वेंचर्स के बंदे भी एनिमे के कैरेक्टर लग रहे हैं मेरे को देखने में
Battling it out, right? That's what we want.
Team Yash Gaming.
So there is still a lot of chance for our squads to remain in this one for a long, long time. So it will be 16 teams in that survival stage. 8 of our top teams will be heading straight through towards those finals we'll be playing later. So we won't really see any teams or their keys being crushed until after that survival stage.
Yeah, you've got to wait for the spectacle. Like Barney was teasing, when the iris opens, sparks will be flying. So you won't
लाइट
miss that.
जय बाबा की लाइट दे दो यार
Here.
क्यों धोखा कर रहे हो मेरे
Kind of
साथ
hoping a little bit actually we would get a run in between these two with how good Yangon Galacticus looked
E Arena.
in the previous matchup with Alpha 7 on the roam over, and it's DRX in the back line, so potential for the rotates in actually being quite spicy when the fights break out.
Yangon Galacticos pretty close towards what I would say is a fairly central position. Now roaming around towards gas station, and that side of the map pretty barren towards the pizza slice that just sits on the northwest side of the map, which is very, very open. You don't really want to play around there. Always do find that
well, I think skins allowed नहीं है ना
this side's a bit more awkward, which is why you're seeing
skins allowed नहीं है ना
down towards that
जिसकी
southeast
जैसे
around Yasnaya.
गाड़ी के skins वगैरह
Far enough away from the field, so there's a lot of treacherous zones here that you don't really want to go into. I'm sort of surprised we don't have any
दिख तो नहीं रही है
trying to bang
भाई तेरा
out.
डाउनलोड नहीं होगा
I guess
रिसोर्स
for
डाउनलोड
Regular,
कर
they're keeping up
साले
wild, so he can quickly dash back over towards Rozok if needs be.
That's fair. That's fair. Let's see though. Let's see what this is going to do in terms of the shift and how the zone rotate will affect things. Blank obviously favors some. More central overall, actually not too
September
bad really, especially in terms of the group that you've got there. So DRX
Center
on the outer edge.
अपने बंदे कहाँ हैं क्या
Falcons obviously slight adjustment there. Pachinki obviously open entirely as well, so we'll regrouping up. It's a late rotate in for the blue.
बंदे घिर रखे क्या
And they'll have their focus in.
वो है ना लेफ्ट में देख AX
आप देखिए EXRN EXRX
Circle pretty rough. You have
यार मेरे को कर लग रहा है मेरे को पीसी बंद करना पड़ेगा
बाद में E Arena
on the map, which is just bare open ground, and then the pizza slice
E Arena हो सकता है
south by side of Stalba, where the two roads make that kind of triangle slice. That is fairly open too. So this is pretty tough for a lot of teams to remain, and I would probably bank on at least 2 or 3 teams going down over the course of the next circle, maybe circle and a half.
La 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 la.
Definitely a lot of potential. Not much cover to play with, limited opportunities for the compound, so fights can be coming your way.
Absolutely, right.
थंबनेल देखिए बार तो जाके लाइव का
Team Falcons then towards the southwest edge. Like I said, Chinky was free.
लाइव का थंबनेल देख थंबनेल
Quite early, but they're going to have to get past school right now. They're all
Live
towards
का
apartments. A little bit more difficult to
मेरी
see
stream
because
का
we are cramming 15 teams into a small space because they're all avoiding that fielded area. They're trying to take up space around some of this remaining compound.
भाई ये लग रहा है प्रॉपर लॉबी
that cuts through into the
एक
lake.
टीम ओए देखियो अल्फा 7 वर्सेस DRX देखियो माफियोसो
I
कहां
do
बैठा है
like this position DRX has, though Alpha 7 is waiting in the wings. Mafioso underneath. This typically is a really good spot to catch teams playing on those outer shacks and outposts just over towards the western side of Yasnaya on the lake. You can control a lot of area from this top side. Now, how will DRX handle Alpha 7 though? Because the rest of the team is making their way on over with Creo, Squash and Revo just off towards the west.
It's Mafioso just playing on the lip here of the rock face. He's had the vehicles approaching, the engine giving that away. Just tucks in, has to play on the off angle realistically. If they peek into him, he seems like he's got a good read on the situation at least, but spacing from the teammates relatively far. DRX trying to get a lay of the land, assess if anyone else is coming in from the other sides. Didn't actually find it.
पंप शॉटगन काफी दिख रही है मेरे को बंदों पे.
He leaned in for it, but neither one gave away the info fully. So obviously it's just the audio he's playing off for now, staying tucked in. If they push ahead of him, could backstab them really nicely.
They have no idea. They're properly confused on what's occurring. We're going to get our next circle. And it wasn't as treacherous as I thought it was going to be.
Okay.
This one is going to push a lot of teams away from the fields, at least from Yasnaya, so teams could be happy about that. But it's across the river.
Oh, river है बे बीच में.
Over towards AX Arena. Weibo's made a actually as well. Over towards
ये बनेगा जहाँ पे ये है ना फ्री फायर वाली टीम बन सकती है ना, या तो यहाँ बनेगा ये तो WPG वाले पे बनेगा. बट किस्मत है अपनी EX वालों बन जाए मजा आ जाएगा.
फिर AX में बनेगा.
EX वाला सर्किल नहीं है इंटरनेशनल.
अबे बच गया भाई बगल से.
सुख भाई सुख को छिल दिया. ओ भाई बच गया. तू आगे चल रहा है क्या? मैं पीछे हूँ क्या? सुख भीतर गया.
Just as they tuck into the compound, a lot of chip damage onto them.
तू आएगा इसमें मैं तो लाइव देख रहा हूँ.
You can follow up from it as well. I mean, order.
मैं रस देता है.
WPG का ऑर्डर.
They just keep finding these knocks. Late game rotate like it's been.
ओ भाई जी के स्माइल का नीड आ रहा है. भाई खत्म है मैटर, भीतर है नीड. ओ भाई छिल दिया.
स्माइल गया.
गया स्माइल को छिल दिया.
can get themselves back up. This is a Hail Mary of a play. Jackie, all right?
भाई WPG को बचा दिया मतलब उन्होंने.
It's very, very central. They'll take the Wizard Tower here, which works out nicely.
Alpha 7 ग्रेव होने TS के.
अरे टॉप कितने में आना है फाइनल में जाने के लिए?
Vehicles are shot to bits.
मतलब टोटल ये 24 टीम है. टॉप 16 में रहना पड़ेगा.
So Weibo game is not moving. At least not until the end game.
तीन ग्रुप है क्या? 8-8 के.
हाँ 3 ग्रुप हैं.
Oh, it couldn't have been better timing on it. Straight back hills out up the stairs, wanting to get himself into the high ground.
भाई लाइट नहीं आ रही भाई. तोरी माइक का जनरेटर बंद हो जाएगा. अपने पीसी बंद होगा मेरा दिख रहा है.
लाइट आ रही है, लाइट आ रही है. ओ ये 100 फाल करोगे वाला है.
नहीं होगा नहीं अभी नहीं लेगा फाइल.
आगे दिया.
अरे आर्यन भाई निकल. छटको जल्दी बग्गी पकड़ो. उड़े
खत्म हो गया बैटर.
Respect the fact that when it's crunch time, they're ready to.
Subverting expectations already with this match, even if it hasn't been just.
आर्यन नीड कर रहा है. आर्यन का तो नीड है. मेरे में आर्यन नीड करता दिख रहा है.
आर्यन पे भी नीड है.
नीड फटे दो सामने. आर्यन का नॉक मार्वल को नॉक करके बहुत टैक्सी भाई आर्यन.
Follow up as well with AX getting thrown into the fight. Falcons, of course, here.
भाई क्या कर रहे हो?
और ये हाफ HP हो गया.
हाफ HP.
किल मिल जाए बस.
नहीं लेफ्ट में.
Just throw out some bullets to keep them guessing.
डेट कर रहा है. वो नहीं.
कोवा का नीड आ रहा है. और बहन तो भागा ले. निकल जाओ यहाँ से. सुअर भर देगा वो.
ये ले.
मैं तेरे को बोला था जोन कटेगा इधर का.
Staggering, only for it to be over towards that southeast side with the fields.
Yeah, that's a ridiculous body of water.
अबे टीम अपना आर्यन रुक ही नहीं रहा. बहन जो हर बार यहीं आ जाता है.
Okay.
सिस्टम है आर्यन भाई का. अरे गाड़ी पे डाल दी. सॉरी गाड़ी पानी पे डाल दी. फिर भी बैठ गया. डॉग गया. ये तो वही टीम है जो आर्यन से पिटी थी. ऑल डेड.
अल्फा 7 छिल लेगी भाई इस मैच में दिख रहा है मेरे को. भाई WPG बाद में छिलेगी देखियो तू. WPG छिले वीवो गेमिंग छिलेगी देखियो एंड जोन में.
X मिल जाएगी।
That's why there's so many teams still in play here.
Order knock पड़ा है।
This is a really interesting position from
अच्छा ही
Regner, where they're underneath the
भाई
bridge right now. They're
सुख
playing
तो
the bridge.
क्रॉसबो से मारता है, देखी मैंने एक वीडियो। बाकी का बंदा रॉक
बट आई थिंक इंटरनेशनल में अलाउड नहीं है क्रॉसबो वगैरह।
Because a lot of times you'll have teams on either side, so Regnum Kaive to hold this, it doesn't seem like the best position in the world.
पेन तो अलाउड है
on the iron girders underneath.
वो तो उसमें आता
और
है।
मरना पड़ता होगा पैन मारने के लिए।
Long time doesn't always necessarily give you the
ढोल बजाने के लिए भी पैन मारना
एक छोटे ये बड़े वाला गाइस
for a lot of teams.
नहीं
40 के फलक ने
थोड़ा तो मैंने तो
circle.
Okay, his two names we haven't had to say too much during this match.
अबे अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह लड़ रहे हैं बे।
सारे बनते हैं।
टीम विजन भी वही सऊदी अरेबिया की है ना।
And also Vision. We're both fighting down towards the outskirts. Similar kind of start here actually with some of the teams that could be going head to head relatively soon.
यार मैंने टीम विजन में बंदे ना बार्सिलोना देखा था।
Arena coming in from the back line. Henry might get caught. And you've got Falcons that will be waiting in the wings as they get lower down towards the roadside as well with Vision onto them.
Marcelo with the Brazil
some interesting little bouts here. It's a wide spread though from the
Aryan down.
Aryan
a lay of the land onto it. They can try and get a bit of vision onto the backside with DRX.
Aryan भाई नहीं यार।
It can't really afford.
ये गया IQ जाने वाला IQ गया।
The space is just absolutely diabolical to play in. IQ, very good player, been playing for a long time. Smart guy, hence the name.
IQ नहीं लगा रहा IQ तो।
Looking to lead for Thrive.
आर्यन को रैम मिल जाए बस।
है कहाँ अपनी टीम है कहाँ?
अरे रैम हो गया। रैम हो गया। इनकी ये आई थी इनके पास वहीं पे थी।
पूरा ने नॉक किया था।
इनके पास वो
पूरा ने नॉक अरे ये वर्सेस DRX हो गया।
पिटे में परसों। हाँ।
भाई पहले मैच की चिकन डिनर टीम में खतरे में। भाई रे। अच्छा सेक में है वो। ले OG भी डाउन। QXG नेट ट्रेड में आया सकुरा। भाई स्मोक्स देख तू। गोली चला ही नहीं रहे दोनों टीवी बंदे बस नेट चल रहे हैं। और यहाँ तो भाई नॉक हो गया चल नॉक हो गया चल भाई स्मोक देख कम से कम नहीं तो 12 स्मोक है 12-13 स्मोक है 12 नहीं ज्यादा है 15 से ऊपर है भाई
अबे स्मोक भी मार दिया भाई
नहीं वो ऑडियो क्यों आ गया गोली चला रहा था
यश गेमिंग ने
अच्छा भाई जी ने ओके
एक वर्सेस फाल्कन
नहीं एक वर्सेस
भाई एक रेड में पूरी फाल्कन खत्म है यार एक रेड फेंक दे बस टीम आर्यन
मुश्किल है बे अब यहाँ से जोन जाना मुश्किल नहीं काफी मुश्किल है अरे आर्यन भाई मैं कह रहा हूँ गाड़ी बीच में सो के निकाल दी जाए मैं तो कह रहा हूँ गाड़ी बीच में सो के दिखाए सलमान भाई रेस्पेक्ट अब 2-3 बंदे नॉक हो जाएंगे चाहे खुद भी नॉक हो जाए और फ्लूइड पहले फ्लूइड यार दूर
पहले होता एक डेट
पकड़
एक और नॉक डेट कर यार अबे एक साथ
चला दे
बग्गी में नहीं जा रहा
अरे दो नॉक हो गए ए यार और मैं लास्ट बंदा बचा है सीओ के मार दे आर्यन अरे
अच्छी भाई
भाई क्या मर गए आपस में
किला है अपने को 4 किला है अपने को 4 किला है 3 किला है 3 ही है
वो अपने नीड से नॉक हो गया वो
ऐसा रश करना ही नहीं चाहिए भाई एक ही बग्गी में दो बंदे जा रहे हैं इतना तो हमें भी आता है
तो हम क्यों नहीं रिप्रेजेंट कर रहे फिर इंडिया को
क्योंकि भाई
आइडियल नहीं है
पाकिस्तान
क्या बोला तू पाकिस्तान क्या बोला दिल पाकिस्तान
भाई हमें अपॉर्चुनिटी नहीं मिली हमारे माँ बाप खेलने नहीं दिया ना अभी कुछ कहना चाहोगे आप
माँ बाप ने पढ़ो कितने आगे बढ़ गए
शायद तो हम यही रोकना चाहेंगे
बिल्कुल आज के लिए बस इतना ही हम भी मायूस हैं, तुम भी मायूस हो।
बोलना चाहोगे?
आज के लिए बस इतना ही, हम भी मायूस हैं। पढ़ाई तो अभी सब आपने करी पढ़ाई।
माँ बाप ने पैसा भी लगाया, पढ़ाई करो की कहा। अब इसमें बच्चों ने कुछ नहीं मारा।
मेरे को सोचा था आ जाएगी, आने में कर रहा हूँ फिर।
अबे कर रहा था वो नहीं कर दे।
चलो मैं स्ट्रीम एंड कर रहा हूँ, लाइट नहीं आ रही, अगर स्ट्रीम लाइट आ जाएगी तो करूँगा स्टार्ट, ठीक है?
ये ले।
चलो गाइस, सॉरी।
Playing off from this
Inshallah.
position again. A lot of teams didn't put stock in this. I don't know.